Hi, welcome to What's the Word? I'm your host, Jaime McFaden, and I'm so excited to have you here. This podcast is about all things wellness. Each week, we will focus on a word of the day, and I interview some of the most inspirational people I know and share that inspiration with you. Join me, let's learn together on What's the Word.
This is the place where I belong.
Hi, and welcome to What's the Word? I'm your host, Jaime McFaden. This podcast is all about things wellness. Each week, we'll focus on a word of the day and give some tips on how to utilize that word to help change your life for the better. To kick it off today, our word is actually two. It is self-care, which is the practice of taking action to preserve or enhance one's self. And I am very honored today to have a special guest with me. She is the hair and makeup goddess to the stars and one of the most inspirational moms that I have the honor of knowing. Today, I am interviewing the owner of Pretty Bitches by Chloe, Chloe Francke. Hi, Chloe.
So much. Oh, I love it. That's so sweet. Thank you. You're such a badass mom too. That literally, I constantly am I'm like, how do you do it all? You do it so well. I know it's not easy, but I'm inspired by you constantly. So thank you. And when I read your email, I was like, oh.
Well, I am truly honored to have you here with me today and to talk about self-care, which I love that was what you chose. So with each guest, I ask if there's a word or something that's resonating with them, and Chloe pretty much right away was like, got it, self-care, let's talk about this today. So I'm curious, what's a day in the life with you like in regards to self-care?
It's not what it looks like. So I'm a single mom, and I have a very every other week schedule most of the time with my ex-husband. We co-parent very well. So I have two different lives. I have the weeks that I have my kids, which right now, and I think this is very current, and self-care is really important right now. And that's what kind of made me really think of it, because I have to make it a point now to take care of myself. So when I have my kids, I understand I have two little boys, and I also work, but I work limited when I have them because I'm homeschooling, full days. And then my kids have two activities after school that they go to. And it's really small people, small groups though. So it's very contained because of the climate of COVID right now.
Right.
So I'm doing that. So I run. On the days I wake up, I make breakfast for my kids. I'm super hands-on. I make them lunch. I'm sitting next to my little one through all of his classes, trying to get emails in between, trying to take calls if I can, which is really hard. So the balancing act is really, really present in my life. A lot of people don't realize that. They're like, wow, you make it look easy. I'm like, no, I found quick ways to make it work for myself. And I feel like that works for everybody. This week I actually don't have my kids. That's why I was like, I'm open. You tell me when. I'm down. So the weeks that I don't have my kids, I fill up with work really quickly because I'm only doing every other week technically. Right. So I get up sometimes, this morning I had an 8:00 client. Sometimes I have to be up at 5 sometimes, and I make my own schedule. So it's booking clients and super busy. Obviously I have to look the part. So again, I found very quick ways to make me look presentable because I'm super, super low maintenance. And that's the thing I've learned to accept. I have eyeliner on today. I mean, that's as crazy as I get. I'm actually really, really basic, which is a bad word I feel like people feel right now. They're like, oh, basic, it's so boring. I'm like, but I need it to be very easy for me to transition from day to night, working and being professional, or the unprofessional professional, as I like to call it, because that's my job. Right. And a lot of my clients are all word of mouth, so I have very close relationships with them, but I still need to have it together. And for my own sanity, so it's go, 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 go. Sometimes I work until 11 o'clock at night when I don't have my kids too. I have long days. So it's really important for me because I move, I'm on the go. I do a lot of house calls. So I prep my, the night before I have my breakfast and my snacks and my lunch that I take with me because I can't stop. I don't have time to stop. Everything is boom, boom, boom. And LA traffic, there's no time to stop and eat. I eat in traffic.
In the car.
It's not good, or I'll after my clients, I'll eat lunch in the car and then I go to my next spot. But it's really hard, and it's finding the balancing act. And that's been, I think, as a mom, I think most moms can really, understand that with all aspects of our life, because there's so much going on that it's really hard to find time for yourself. And I definitely think that during this time right now is a no one's experienced this. Like our parents haven't experienced what
Our
we're
grandparents.
right. Right, exactly. Like their parents had the Spanish flu in like 1918 or whatever it was. But like no one's experienced this. And I think as parents, I mean, they shut down schools. And we live so in Southern California. My girlfriend in New York was telling me, she's like, you guys are in a different country. It's wild. Like we're on fire. It's like I know Europe on fire up there.
It's crazy.
And then we have the climate of the world with COVID and all these heartbreaking things, which for me, I'm such an empath. So it's really hard. And I see it through my kids' eyes of all of this racial injustice and all of these things coming forward, which yes, it's an important conversation, but it's also hard because you would think, you know, in our generation, I feel like it's a lot of the older generations coming down on us. So for us as parents and trying to do it all, it's like, I feel it for my kids and it's heartbreaking. And it's like, and you gotta, you know, be with them like 24/7 because things are not running up. Like daycare is not 100%. It's hybrid schedule or whatever. And I'm homeschooling and it's doing it all. And I run my own business.
Right.
So how do you make time for self-care? And tell me, what do you do? Because you do it well.
The thing is, and I've always preached this, and I love that you have moms because I can obviously relate to that. Like towards the end of last week, which I had the kids, I was like, oh my gosh, so I can do most of my beauty maintenance myself. I'm very lucky. So I cut my hair at like, the kids went to bed and I cut my hair at like 10 o'clock at night in my downstairs bathroom. You know, not everyone, I would never suggest people.
Don't try this at home.
Yeah, don't do this at home, but that's my job and I can do that. But I was like, oh my gosh, my skin, let me do a mask. I have like 2 masks. Actually, there's 3 masks that I really love that work very quickly. I should have written them down, but one of them is, oh my gosh. So like the Dennis Gross, those little lactic pads.
Love those.
2 minutes, each of them. I like don't have time for the 30-minute mask, like, or whatever, 10 minutes. Like, I feel like it's a chunk of time. I don't know, you know,
Right.
But skincare is really important. I feel like for me, and because we're home. So I like made time. I took 15 minutes and I was like, let me do this mask after my shower. Like, let me shave my legs even. Like, well, it sounds so stupid, but if you're a mom and you know, it's like, you're like, oh my gosh, when you do that, you're like, the simplest thing can make you feel good. We really have to take, even if it's 5 minutes a day, to take care of ourselves. And that's the same with what you do as far as fitness too. I try to stay in, shape and feel strong because that's what's important to me. And my kids know because they've seen it since they've been born. I take, even if it's 15 minutes a day to work out, because sometimes that's all I have.
Totally.
And I'm okay with that. I've learned to accept that, and that's what I can do. And there's a majority of my time, my hair, like this, especially in the summer, is slicked back. Like I'll wash it, or I won't, but I slick back my hair and I just throw on hoops and I do a quick eyeliner, like to make it work for me. My makeup has been very, very simple. Like I have actually, which is wonderful, is that I do have a beauty coaching business also that I do online, which I started actually right before the pandemic, which was so much fun. And then the pandemic hit, and then I actually had to like slow that down because I was full-time homeschooling every single week because It was the very beginning of it and my ex couldn't handle it, whatever. So I had to, so what's wonderful about that is that I get on with a lot of people that follow me are moms, and they are business women too, whether they have kids or they don't. And they're like, I just don't know how to do my hair at all. Or I have no clue about makeup. I have some, but I don't use it. Or some people are like, I don't even know anything about skincare. So with my beauty coaching, what I do is I give you the most practical and easiest ways to make it work for you. So we have a whole call where I go through, I want to know what your lifestyle is, because I'm never going to shame somebody who doesn't do a full face makeup. Like, oh, she never does her hair. I barely do my hair. There's days I don't wear makeup at all. Like, it's just the reality of it. And it's really hard to balance it. And I've learned to be kind to myself and not beat up on myself because there's just too much on my plate. And there was a really great saying once that Gwen's funny. It said, she goes, and it was just an acceptance. She was like, every day, one thing falls to the side in my life. One thing I fail at every day, where if I'm focusing on my work, my kids fall to the side that one day. Or if I'm with my kids, my work falls. And that's just the way it is. And we have to be, forgiving to ourselves and not beat ourselves up. But we also have to be that example we have to be for ourselves, but also for our kids. It's really great that I constantly see you working out with Sophie. Like, you know how great that is for her to see, like, as a mom too, but like, you make time for yourself, and that is so important for our kids to see. You have to take care of yourself, and there's such a strong and powerful message in that. And my kids know 15 minutes, guys. I just need my 15 minutes to do my workout. Like, go on your iPads. Sometimes I can get a 30-minute workout in. I don't actually have a gym membership. I do everything at home. So because that works for me. I can't take the 15, 20 minutes to go to the gym. Well, you know what I mean? Like, it just takes time. I can't do it. So for me, these online classes that everybody has are so amazing because that works for me in my lifestyle. Absolutely. Anything quick and makes sense. And that's the same with like beauty coaching. It's like, I'm never going to be like, okay, we need to wash every day and curl it. Like, that's not realistic. So let's find the easiest way.
I love that. I love that right now. So like, in summary, to whoever's listening right now, Chloe is giving so many gems just left and right of, really simple yet effective and kind of profound things that we should think about that really ultimately, maybe we know this, but it doesn't have to be, as much as I love a great spa day, self-care doesn't have to be this, it doesn't have to be this massive indulgence of, spending a ton of money. And because I feel like most of the time I hear from people, I don't have the time and I don't have the money. That's typically, it's like one or the other or both, I've got the kids, I've got work, I've got this, I've got that. Like, I don't have time for myself. And I kind of believe deep, deep, deep down, and thank you for picking up on this with, even having my child in my workouts, which maybe some people are like, you're crazy, and maybe I am, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I want my child to realize from the birth that mommy has to take care of herself. Because when I take care of myself, I can take better care of her. But now with you, I feel like you know how to take care of yourself so well and do it in a very beautiful way. And that's your specialty, which is why today I wanted to ask you also about, like, do you have any, like you said, those what are they? Dr. Gross?
Dr. Gross.
Yeah, those masks. I love those. It's like a 2-set.
I get them from Sephora, and I just like it. Literally, you feel like your skin kind of peeling away in a 2-minute flash, and it feels
it just
so
makes the
good.
texture smooth and
they're so good.
It preps the skin. So one of the things I like to use is, I love those, and I also love, there's a company called, it's Michelle.
Okay.
It's actually, I do a lot of green beauty skincare.
Love.
I try not to use things with chemicals. Dennis Gross is like probably the most chemical thing I had in my drawer, to be honest with you. All my cleansers, everything. But Michelle also has a 1-minute resurfacing papaya enzyme mask. It's their vitamin C mask, I'm sorry. And it literally, you put it on for 1 minute. Even if you have sensitive skin, you do 30 seconds. It's that quick. I love things that are quick and efficient.
Right.
And I'll put that on, wash it off, and sometimes I'll throw on like just a moisturizing mask, which you can leave on for a certain amount of time, whatever. I found masks that I like that's quick. It just doesn't take a lot of time. And just that little bit, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that feels good. Or, in the shower, put in a deep conditioning mask. One of my tricks that I always tell people, and they're like, I never thought of that. So one trick is, if you have some time, a quick and super cheap little at-home remedy is, if you have avocado oil. I like that way better than coconut oil. I don't love coconut oil on the hair. Scalp, skin, sure, but not on the hair. I just don't love it. Right. If you have avocado oil, it works really wonderful. If not, olive oil also works. But before you shampoo your hair, you do a pre-shampoo treatment. Go right in your kitchen, pour it in your hands, put it on your ends, work it up. So you don't have to put it on your scalp. Let it sit in for 5 minutes. If you want to leave it in for an hour, wonderful. Great. Then shampoo your hair like normal and condition it like normal. You've added an extra moisturizing treatment, and it's pretty much organic and natural.
And it's in your kitchen.
Yeah. Like, people are like, wow, really? I don't have to go buy a $50 mask. I'm like, no, not really. Like, we can find ways to make it work. Right. Or if you want to do a mask for your hair, because I'm very big into taking care. It's not just about makeup. I want you to take care of yourself from the inside out. So doing skincare, doing a deep conditioning mask. One of the little tricks too is, if you keep a hand-sized towel near your shower, after you shampoo your hair, squeeze out your hair, and then with the hand-sized towel, blot your hair. It's just squeezing it because you don't want to ruffle the cuticle. Take a lot of that moisture out of it, then put in your deep conditioner. What happens to the hair is that it fills up with water like a sponge. So when you take the water out, you can actually allow the product to penetrate deeper into the hair because it's not filled with water, not diluting it. So one, you're saving time because it doesn't have to go through all that extra moisture. So instead of leaving the mask in for 10 minutes, if you can do 2 to 5 minutes, Wonderful. You shave your legs while you're doing that or something. Clean your shower. Who cares?
Double up, my friends.
Yeah, it's like easy. And then, and it saves you money. You're not wasting your money on product. Like nobody wants to do that. I'm like one of those people, like my kids know you squeeze out every drop of toothpaste. Like I'm not a waster with anything. So it's, you know, I try to be really practical. That's one trick. It's like people are like, oh, I didn't even know how to do that with my deep conditioner. I'm like, yeah, it's great. I mean, if you have the time to sit for 30 minutes, I don't though. And that's the reality. So it's like, you've got to make it work and not be hard on yourself, because it doesn't, like you said, need to be this crazy, expensive, overindulgent thing, especially right now. Like we can figure it out. And that's, you know, what I do with my beauty coaching too. I have clients in Spain that I do this with. Like, it's so cool because I get to connect with women on a different level too, and find out what their lifestyle is and really understand how to make it work for each and every woman, which is so much fun. Like, and then I get the messages after, and that's what feels good. That's the best. And like, oh my God, my husband even noticed when I did my makeup different, like, you know, whatever. And I'm like, mind you, this woman who's like 50 something and had been married for 30 something years. And she was like, my husband, he noticed my makeup was different. And I was like,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, it just makes me feel good. That's why I love doing what I do.
I love that. And now, okay, so your website, which I'm going to include here, but I think it's prettybitchesbychloe.com, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I love it. And Pretty Bitches, I mean, that's your motto, right?
Yeah, and that's an Instagram. You know, that came up with that name. It was random. It was on a flight, and I was like, Pretty Bitches. Because one, people laugh when they hear every single person that hears it, they're like, huh? Yeah. So one, you don't forget it, but two, you laugh. And I mean, anybody who knows me knows I joke around a lot. I laugh a lot. I don't take myself super seriously because I'm so human, it's ridiculous. Like, I've been humbled many of times, like beyond, and we were just talking about this before we got on the call. Like, I'm extremely human when people don't actually know that about me. So it's like, when you do, you're like, all of a sudden, I'm not who you think I might be. And when they hear that, it kind of breaks the ice, and they're like, oh.
I love it. I love it. So, and now as we wrap this up, I'm going to ask you a quick speed round. So it's like just like a fun little thing here. So speed round. Question 1.
Funniest celebrity moment. Go.
Oh, God. I have so many. It's not funny. Ah, shit, I can't see the one that
or craziest or weirdest, or, you know.
I have a crazy one. So recently it's kind of been out in the news, which I've had a lot of incidents, like some probably not, like somebody attacked me kissing once in my early 20s. That's a very famous actor. We were at a club, and we were hanging out with the same group, and my girlfriend was like hitting on him kind of, and then I went downstairs and he like shoved his tongue down my throat. It was one of these things. It was Cuban Gooding Jr. Literally, my ex-husband doesn't even know about that. I never told him. But that was like a funny moment. That's a funny one. It was great. It wasn't like, I didn't want to slap him in the face. He wasn't like rude about it or ropey about it or anything.
Right.
But I got two families that I'm very close to that I love, that are not only people I work with, that are also like friends and family to me. I gave them all COVID.
Right.
We are all good. It was my worst nightmare. It was like, literally, I had to call everyone and I don't know anything about this, but like an STD. It was like I gave somebody, I was like, hi, but thank God it was a mild version. And as soon as I had a symptom, which is a really good lesson for everybody, is if you feel a little bit off, find the closest urgent care. Jillian Michaels was one of my friends that I infected, her and her family, and she did a whole podcast on it. And you could have symptoms and not even know be asymptomatic, and that was me. So as soon as I felt a little bit off, like I felt a little like cold, and at night, well, it was close to my cycle, and it was my hormones, I feel extra sweaty at night, which is not uncommon for me. Or I talked to my ex-husband, and I was like, I feel a little. He's like, you should probably go get tested. So I did immediately. Right. And as soon as I did, I let everybody know. Thank God. So everyone started quarantining themselves and testing themselves.
Right.
So it didn't spread even more. Our version was very mild. It was, I don't even think I had a fever. My kids got it. I was quarantined with them for 3 weeks. I was quarantined in my house. I just got out this Sunday night. I was free from 3 weeks, like, of being with my kids and like home. It was a lot. Homeschooling the whole time, not working in my house. We couldn't go anywhere. It was wild. So it's one of those things, I think, taking care of yourself and being very aware and going as soon as you can. I was lucky they took my health insurance, which was great at the urgent care. Not all do, but it is really important for that. So that was kind of crazy. And then one of the other families that I infected was also a very big family that people know. It was Dwayne Johnson's, who I'm very close with his wife. For the people that follow me on Instagram know she's one of my girlfriends, like very close girlfriend, and like my family, and their family is like my family. So yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. So, but everyone made it out all right. But it keeps reoccurring. Like today, there's a thing on TMZ, and they're like, "Oh, Jillian Michael's story sounds a lot like Dwayne Johnson's." And nobody knows. Like Jill was very clear about who gave it to her. He did it, which was sweet and kind. But I was like, "Oh my god, I like this. It never goes away." And Jill's like, "You're never gonna live this down." I'm like,
"You may not, but
we all lived through it. Thank God."
You guys are all through it, and you're doing an entire podcast on self-care and reminding people, take care of yourselves, make that time for yourself. And no matter what, there's going to be things out of our control. So the best that we can do is continue to take care of ourselves, even when crazy stuff happens, right? And things will happen.
It look like a big over-the-top thing.
Right.
That's really, really important to me because, again, then you get discouraged. You're like, I can't do that. You're like, yes, you can. You have 5 minutes?
Right.
5 minutes. Do you have 10 minutes to work out and do something? Because eventually it'll build up and you'll get used to it.
Absolutely.
And it'll become part of your life, is taking care of yourself. And it's just really important for you with careers or being a parent and whatever it is to do all of these things.
Totally. Okay, so that was part of our speed round, but that obviously wasn't our speedy round.
Sorry,
No, this is great. Are you kidding me? Now we're gonna do really quick speed round, and it'll be really fast. Ready? Tacos or pizza?
Pizza.
Your favorite sound?
My kids laughing.
Your favorite smell?
My kids are my favorite smell, even when they're sweaty and stinky right now.
Oh, I love that. Okay, and last but not least, what is one self-care idea that people get wrong?
That you have to take a lot of time to do it. A lot of people just overthink it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And Chloe, thank you so much for joining me today and for being here with us on What's the Word. No, I'm so much fun. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to share this with everybody that's listening, because we all could do better, I believe, with self-care. And the better that we can take care of ourselves, truthfully, the better we can take care of each other and help one another, 100%. Despite no matter what chaos comes, out of our control, like you just had brought up, that's crazy. And I'm so thankful you guys are all okay. But at the end of the day, continuing to practice your self-care, even when you might not feel like it, or even when, times are rough. So on that note, I will be sharing with everyone your information. So please, everybody, stay in touch with Chloe. You can check out her website. You can also probably book her. I don't know if you're taking anybody right now, but
I'm doing house calls right now because I'm kind of shifting my business a bit just to reset from this year. So I'm actually closing down my salon temporarily. I may reopen, but I'm still doing house calls, have clients. I do a lot of house calls anyway, so it kind of works out. But yes, and follow me on Instagram because I have a lot of things I'm working on. We were talking about one of them, which I haven't announced yet because I'm in early stages, but I have a lot of things that I am working on. So yeah, follow me on Instagram if you're interested in beauty coaching. You just slide in my DMs and I got you.
You are amazing, Mama. Thank you. And literally, you are just so amazing. I can't wait to see you, hopefully sometime soon.
When California stops burning down.
Yeah. And all the rest of the stuff mellows out.
Right, exactly.
But yes, keep doing what you're doing. Keep practicing your self-care. And thank you for inspiring me and everybody that knows you. You are wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You're awesome.
Mwah.
Thank you for joining me here at What's the Word. Follow us on social media with the links on the screen, and don't forget to like and share with your friend. Your support helps us grow and continue to make inspirational content. See you next time on What's the Word.